So I'll invite my two co-organizers to share a couple final reflections. And then we can stay in this room, chat as you like, network, or you can enjoy the wonderful California weather outside.
I can go first. Also, just to make a short announcement for the speakers, because I don't know a better way to do this, we have a nice thank you dinner. Check your emails. We are not going to be on an outdoor patio given the weather, so we have a slightly different adjustment for the location. So just in case you don't check, please come talk to us about that. Yeah, so Martin Jurker and I, we said let's reflect on one or two takeaways we have from today. And for me, I really was inspired by how Lee's presentation, especially not just the left side of the smiley face of doing less bad, but the right side, how do we do more good? And we saw a lot of, I saw a lot of really interesting conversations that I haven't seen in years past. So for examples of doing more good, I really liked Carol's example from Home.Earth about thinking also about anti-gentrification movements that a real estate developer can do. He just mentioned it shortly, but I think that's quite important. I think also in the session on design, we talked about how we can use design as a tool there. But more than anything, I really appreciated the conversation from several speakers around workforce development, workforce welfare, to make sure that the people that are actually building are taken care of, and that we're also going to them and discussing and hearing from them about ways to improve their lives, and ultimately that results back into a better process and a better product for everyone involved. So to me, that was the biggest takeaway there.
Thank you, Daniel. I think a couple of reflections. I think we've seen proof of very high level of maturity. Many of, or I would say all of our presentation speakers, maturity in that, what industrialized construction is about and what it can deliver. I think I've heard also common language much more than before. We hear many speakers talk about product platforms, production systems, and so on, and I think that's a good thing that we start sharing the vocabulary and sort of meaning the same things, and that's a really good starting point, so to say. From the first session, one of the big learnings, I think, is patience. Not being too rushed, taking a step-by-step approach, learn, make it happen, take the next step. That's a really interesting learning, I think, and a good advice, I think, for many actors in this space. We've heard also a lot of mentioning about market knowledge, customer insight, and so on. That's something I always talk a lot about, and I'm a little extra happy to hear that, because without having happy customers, happy clients, and so on, happy stakeholders, then I think it will be tricky to be very successful. I also enjoyed the presentation and the discussion from Folia, the school concept. Really nice to see a little demystifying of industrialized construction. It can actually be, so to say, that simple. It doesn't have to be super advanced, at least not in the beginning. Take some nice steps, build it on trust. That was really nice to hear. Final thought or final comment is that we have, I think almost in all presentations, we have touched at least on sustainability. That is obviously very close to the heart of industrialized construction, and that's very, very promising, I think. So, yeah, those were my comments and reflections.
Yeah, I also love the inspiration that Hao gave us with the smiley, especially the right side, in terms of think about adding value, and maybe you can actually create demand with that the people demanding it didn't even know they want it. I thought that was pretty cool, something to think more about. And then I liked that, yes, we focused a lot, or the speakers focused a lot on environmental sustainability, but not only. Because there was really, I think, also a good mix of economic sustainability. and of social, and a lot of mention as we heard. So to add maybe one thing, it's always tough when you have to go last. I really loved seeing quantified targets, objectives. I've never been in a room with construction people for one day where I've seen more quantified targets. Normally, watch if you are puzzled by this comment. Next time, listen, and you will hear, yeah, we want a more flexible building of higher quality, build faster, safer, etc. And nothing happens. Everybody nods their heads and says, yep, yeah, of course, yeah, what else? But nothing happens because we didn't actually put the line in the sand. That's what we actually mean. It's 10.2, it's 1.2, whatever the number, right? And that I really loved seeing today. So that's definitely a highlight for me. So I think with that, we thank again all the speakers for sharing their work, for coming here, being so open. And we also thank you for joining us, many of you again, and others welcome for the first time. We are already looking forward to number 12. We can make it a dozen. I have some ideas of things we could focus on next year. But if you have ideas, please let us know too. So with that, please mingle, continue to network, continue to share lessons learned and so on. And then after that, safe journey wherever you have to go.